The words I'm going to use is to say we need to take it from the space of the soul space, and bring it to the spirit space. Does that make sense? I'm not New Age people. I love the Lord and Him alone. But taking things that happen in your mind and bringing them into the spiritual realm where they are under the authority of the Spirit. Does that make sense? Cool. You still with me? 1 Corinthians 2 verse 6 to 16. It's a chunky piece I want to read for us in setting the tone for this thing. He starts off, our big older brother Paul, yet among the mature we do impart wisdom. Although it is not a wisdom of this age or of the rulers of this age who are doomed to pass away, but we impart a secret and hidden wisdom of God, which God decreed before the ages for our glory. None of the rulers of this age understood this. And he's saying they didn't understand this because look what they did. If they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined, what God has prepared for those who love Him. He is Lord. He rules over us, not our emotions. These things God has revealed to us through the Spirit, capital S, the Holy Spirit, part of the Godhead. For the Spirit searches everything, even the depths of God. For who knows a person's thoughts except the spirit of that person, which is in him? So also no one comprehends the thoughts of God except the Spirit of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, that we might understand the things freely given us by God, like our emotions. And we impart this in words not taught by human wisdom, but taught by the Spirit, interpreting spiritual truths to those who are spiritual. Carries on to verse 16. For who has understood the mind of the Lord so as to instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. Now, I have devoted a great portion of my life to psychology and counseling and that portion. I have friends who have studied it. They have master's, doctorates, double doctorates in this thing. But nowadays, these little young ones watch one YouTube video and all of a sudden is on par with us and can tell us, well, if you see that emotion, you're actually a very toxic person. Like one YouTube video is going to qualify you to stand on par and unravel the intricacy of a creator God that made us who we are. And then they start living with that understanding. Let me tell you what your emotions should be and how and what they say about you, as if they are experts. Have you met any of these people? Or am I living in this little, are they just coming for me? Is that actually what's happening? Well, then you're going to have to sit through this anyway. But this portion makes it evident that there is a creator God and there is a Spirit who inspires things and reveals things to us and obviously has a purpose. When you start to experience an emotion, it's not to suppress and repress and shut it out. It is to understand it and give it its appropriate space. Not allow it to overwhelm and govern and have authority on your life. Do you read that in that portion? It's almost like this portion is saying the mind and the Spirit must agree. But the authority is the Spirit. The Spirit will tell you, yes, I can see you are feeling like that, but let me bring truth. Let me bring order. Listen to, like we need to bring these emotions from obscurity. We need to place emotions at the correct place, and we cannot avoid them because even Jesus mentions them. He speaks to his disciples and to us, the church, for now. It's recorded in Mark. He says the most important is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you shall love the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The Creator God who became flesh acknowledges emotions. They are not wrong. They just have a place. This series is aimed to bring that, but it's also aimed at a certain audience. So, by show of hand, anyone here has emotions? My goodness. I think it's for you. If you've lived through or experienced trauma of any sort, show of hands. It's for you. Okay, cool. Elation, fear, anxiety, surprise, like when we call you up to come and talk, show of hands, it's for you. If you've ever said things like, when somebody says, "Hi, I'm fine." If you've ever said, "I'm so excited I can scream," like Karabo did, "I am numb. I have nothing left to feel. I just don't care anymore." Have you heard that one? "And I'm never going to love again." Anybody ever said those things? Okay, it's also for you. If you have a healthy relationship with your emotions and you can recognize them and express them in your hands, great, I love the confidence. It's for you. If you're learning about emotions only now, that's the older generation. It's for you. And if you're unable to identify them, you're maybe a bit younger. Have you ever seen a child who is like just screaming for the sake of whatever, and you're like, you're either just hungry or you're just a bit sad. Come and give me a hug. They're unable to identify them, and as soon as you help them put words to it, they calm down. Yeah, it's for them. And if you really want to get to grips with your emotions so that they don't influence your state of mind and your mood so much, it's for you. Okay. So the topics we're going to cover in the 5 weeks is joy. Then we're going to look at sorrow, sadness. Then we're going to look at fear. And you might know fear by a different name. Anxiety, stress. And then we're going to look at anger. But as Christians, that one we're going to just glance over because we don't have anger issues. No anger. And then I thought another one is actually called surprise, but I want us to end on awe. And what our responses should be in that. Is that okay? I've pinned it to the book that has the most emotions in it. Is the book of Psalms. O Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, nor discipline me in your wrath. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am languishing. Heal me, O Lord, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? Turn, O Lord, and deliver my life. Save me for the sake of your steadfast love. For death there is no remembrance of you, who will give you praise? I'm weary with my moaning. Every night I flood my bed with tears. I drench my couch with my weeping. My eyes waste away because of grief. It sounds like teenagers nowadays. This is just Psalm 6. And I read 7 verses. I can identify Plutchik's entire wheel of emotions just in that portion.